invocation, Ravindra Bro.
Om Tasmai Sri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttara Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnava Sri Rupa Sangrajatam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijanasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishakamitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So we have come to the last set of inquiry questions which were asked by Vidurji to Uddhava. And he is inquiring about the welfare of all those who are connected to Krishna and all those who are connected to the Yadus and the Kurus. And the last one that we saw was his inquiry on Dhritarashtra. So he did not inquire about his welfare, although he is asking about the welfare of everyone. Oh, gentle one, I simply lament for him. Because there cannot be any welfare for Dhritarashtra. He is the most unfortunate person. Why? Who rebelled against his brother after the latest death. I was thinking how he could rebel against his brother after the latest death. I was driven out of my house. So Dhritarashtra committed offense against his brother Pandu, his younger brother, and also his younger brother Vidura. He committed offense against both these brothers who are great devotees. Because he accepted the line of action adopted by his own sons. Can someone answer that who rebelled against his brothers after the latest death? How he committed offense against Pandu after Pandu died? Priyanka, you attempt?
लेना चाहिए था।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
बिकॉज धृतराष्ट्र अपने नेफ्यू का केयर नहीं किया और अपना शेयर भी नहीं दिया जो उनको वो डिजर्व करते थे।
Yes, true. Because he did not took the responsibility of the elder son. He should have taken the responsibility of caring for the sons of Pandu as his own sons. But he did not care. He always discriminated and also deprived them of their rightful claim of the kingdom. Where is the evidence? How do we know that he was always discriminating? What is the evidence?
इन भगवद गीता फर्स्ट वर्स वो कहते हैं कि मामका पांडवश्चैव।
Very good, very good. Exactly. Thank you. One more thing, Riyanshi, I was just thinking, आपने स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ भगवत गीता नहीं लिखा उसमें फर्स्ट वर्स में? व्हाट इज द स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ भगवत गीता? प्रभुपाद जी वो भी कोट करते हैं फर्स्ट वर्स में। You again have a look at that first purport. Okay. The standard of Bhagavad Gita is mentioned there. Very important. Okay. So we'll go forward. Screen is visible. I hope it is normal today. आप लोग को दिख रहा है? Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Vidura knew well that his elder brother, because there was no chance of his well-being, only news of his gliding down to hell. But Vidura was the sincere well-wisher of Dhritarashtra and had thought about him in the corner of his heart. This is the greatest fortune for such an offender like Dhritarashtra, who always committed offense against the great devotees. But still his good fortune was that one of the great devotees, Vidura, always had compassionate thought in his heart. Okay, going forward. Soam Harer Martya Vidambanena Drisho Narnam Chalyato Vidatuhu Na Anya Upalakshaya Padvim Prasada Charami Pashyan Gata Vismayo Atraha. I am not astonished as this. What he is not astonished? Of the treatment that he received from Dhritarashtra and his sons. Having traveled all over the world without being seen by others, the activities of the personality of Godhead, which are like those of a man in this mortal world, are bewildering to others. But I know of his greatness by his grace, and thus I am happy in all respects. This is the inner disposition of a devotee. That by his grace, I am happy in all respects. Although he was the brother of Dhritarashtra, Vidura was completely different. By the grace of Lord Krishna, he was not foolish like his brother. And thus his brother's association could not influence him. The Asat Sang that was there with Dhritarashtra and his sons, it could not influence Mahatma Vidur. Dhritarashtra and his materialistic sons wanted to falsely lord it over the world by dint of their own strength. The Lord encouraged them in this, and thus they became more and more bewildered. But Vidura wanted to achieve sincere devotional service of the Lord, and therefore became a soul absolutely surrendered to the absolute personality of Godhead. Very beautifully Prabhupada presents. But Vidura wanted to achieve sincere devotional service of the Lord, and therefore he became a soul absolutely surrendered to the absolute personality of Godhead. It's so poetic. He could realize this in the progress of his pilgrim's journey, and thus he was freed from all doubts. He was not at all sorry to be bereft of his hearth and home. So he had no regrets, he had no complaints, and he also did not feel any inconvenience. Because he now had experienced that dependence on the mercy of the Lord is a greater freedom than so-called freedom at home. A person should not be in the renounced order of life unless he is firmly convinced of being protected by the Lord. This is a very important question, very important statement Srila Prabhupada is giving. That a person should not be in the renounced order of life unless he is firmly convinced of being protected by Krishna. The principle is Avashya Rakhive Krishna Vishwashaha. Such person can take renunciation. They are renounced. They are already renounced. Who have this conviction in their heart. This stage of life is explained in the Bhagavad Gita as Abhayam Sattvam Samshuddhi. Where is this verse? Abhayam Sattvam Samshuddhi. Don't see the Gita. Where is this word? Where is this verse? Abhayam Sattvam Samshuddhi. We have done the entire Gita. बोलिए. This is in the 16th chapter of divine and demonic. This is the first quality of those who are divine. Don't think this quality is only for those who are in the renounced order. जो सन्यासी है उसको ये quality चाहिए, हमें नहीं चाहिए. No. Anyone who is in this under the protection of divine nature, who is under spiritual potency, the first quality that he manifests is abhayam. He is free from fear. Fear means material platform. The spiritual platform, there is no fear. Fear is only then on the material platform. Every living entity is factually completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. But unless one is in the pure state of existence, he cannot be established in this position. This stage of dependence is called Sattva Samshuddhi, or purification of one's existence. The result of such purification is exhibited in fearlessness. Give some examples. Some examples of Sattvam Samshuddhi and Abhayam. You have understood, na? समझ में आ गया? What is Abhayam? What are the examples of Abhayam? Of course, without Sattvam Samshuddhi, there cannot be Abhayam. Give some examples of some personalities, character, devotees, of their fearlessness. Abhayam. Pradeep, participate. Why it is taking so long? At least 10 examples should be given. Manoram, you give examples.
Krishna Prabhuji. One is Prahlad Maharaj Prabhuji.
Yes, simple. The first and the foremost example is Prahlad Maharaj. He had no fear in his heart at all, irrespective of whatever Hiranyakashipu did to him. Okay, good. Some other examples?
And, Srila Haridas Thakur is also there.
Yes. How?
Because he did not left chanting Prabhuji, although he was dragged by others, beaten by others, Prabhuji.
Yes. You should state what he said. How we can say that he is Abhayam? What was the statement? You should know the statement. Who knows the statement of Srila Haridas Thakur? Yes, yes. Ravinder Prabhu, बोलिए.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Oh, Ryanshi, yes, बोलिए.
Haridas Thakur said that he will not stop chanting even the people who were beating him. If they will cut him into 100 pieces, even he will not stop chanting the holy names.
Very good, very good. Anyone knows the verse? The Bengali pair? When our mind beats us, then we should speak this verse to our mind and tell him to chant. It will be very effective. You should know this verse. खंड खंड होय देहा या यदि प्राण तबु आमी वदने ना छाड़ी हरि नामा. You type Manoram and then you share it. Huh? खंड खंड होय देहा या यदि prana. As she said, khand khand hoy deha. Even if my body is cut into many pieces, hundreds of pieces. And ya yadi pran, even if my life air has been taken away. Tabu ami vadane na chhadi hari naam. Still I will not give up chanting the holy name. That is the conviction. This is abhayam. That is complete dependence, a complete conviction in the heart. Okay, good. Some other examples, some examples from the present day situation. These are good. Haridas Thakur, Prahlad Maharaj, but we don't meet Prahlad Maharaj and we don't meet Haridas Thakur. What are the other examples? Yes, Ramya? Unmute करके बोले. You are
हरे
muted.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी श्रीला प्रभुपाद
How?
in his Markine Bhagavad Gita, Markine Bhagavad Shiksha, he wrote that if Krishna make him a puppet and he will dance according to him.
Okay, good. I'll give you one example of one of the existing acharyas. His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinashak Swami Maharaj. I personally verified from him. He was preaching in some Muslim countries. And because in Muslims they don't accept that the Supreme Lord Allah has any form. So what happened? One of the Muslim rowdy person, a big gangster there, they picked him up. They kidnapped him. He was kidnapped and he was taken in a very remote, isolated place. And when he, opened his eyes was covered. He saw there were so many gunmen surrounding him everywhere. And then they said that you say that the Allah has form. They show me the form, otherwise you will lose your form. Maharaj remains fearless. Maharaj didn't say anything to him. And they started to harass him and show their guns to him to kill him. And they said, if you have your God, then call him. Let us see him. So Maharaj closed his eyes and he chanted with full conviction, very loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he continued chanting. He kept on chanting for a long time. And his eyes was closed. And when he opened the eyes, there was no one. All of them fled. All of them ran away. This is real story. Not a story, this is a real experience. I heard it from one devotee. So I was waiting. So once Bhakti Vinashak Maharaj came to our temple. Maharaj had been coming, he's very senior person. So Maharaj gave Sunday class, and after the class was over and he was leaving. So I just followed him. When there was no one with him, then I just approached Maharaj and then I told Maharaj, I heard about this episode of chanting. And I confirmed with him, Maharaj, is this true? And he said yes. So this is fearlessness, completely. But it can only be with those who have Sattvam Samshuddhi, whose existence is pure. Impure person, impure person, in his heart there is always fear. He is always saddled with fear. His life is full of fear. This stage of life is explained in Bhagavad Gita as Abhyam Sattvam Samshuddhi. Every living entity is factually completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. But unless one is in pure state of existence, he cannot be established in this position. He must have Sambandh Gyan. This stage of dependence is called Sattva Samshuddhi, or purification of one's existence. The result of such purification is exhibited in fearlessness. A devotee of the Lord who is called Narayana Paraha is never afraid of anything because he is always aware of the fact that the Lord protects him in all circumstances. There is that beautiful verse, Narayan Para Sarve, Na Kutashya Na Bhibyati. Manoram, find out this verse. Narayana Para Sarve, Na Kutashya Na Bhibyati. Swarga Apavarga. Swarga Apavarga Tulyo. Api. Yeah. You just type Narayana Para Sarve. You will receive this verse. Yes, this is the verse. Narayana Para Sarve Na Kutasya Na Bhivyati Swarga Apavarg Narkeshu Api Tulyarth Darshina. This is Lord Shiva telling Mother Parvati. Just show the top. What is the title? This is, yes, Mother Parvati curses Chitraketu. So Mother Parvati cursed him, and Lord Shiva is then telling Mother Parvati that there will be no effect of your curse on Chitraketu because he is Narayana Parasarva. The devotees solely engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana never fear any condition of life. Very important. Never fear any condition of life. That was Srila Prabhupada. Completely fearless. Come down. For them, heavenly planets, liberation, and hellish planets are all the same. How is it? Huh? Heavenly planet, hellish planet, liberation, all are the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. This is the point. Because wherever they go, they have only one agenda. They have only one purpose. They have only one mission. Is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, close it. Utilize your shloka book. Keep putting these verses. You will see how much this Sattvam Samshuddhi will start to work in our life. Whenever we get any fear, we should remember all these episodes. Memorize this verse, beautiful verse. Narayana Parasarvena Kutashana Bhibyati Swarga Pavarga Tuleshu. A devotee of the Lord is called Narayana Para. He is never afraid of anything because he is always aware of the fact that the Lord protects him in all circumstances. With this conviction, Vidura traveled alone. This is what a sannyasi is supposed to do. Sannyasi must have this conviction. Prabhupada said already that whoever has to be in the renounced order, he must have this conviction. And he was not seen or recognized by any friend or foe. And he moved incognito. No one recognized him. Thus he enjoyed freedom of life without obligation to the many duties of the world. So the happiness that he experienced, the transcendental happiness that he experienced, cannot be compared. When Lord Shri Krishna was personally present in the mortal world, in this eternal blissful form of Shyama Sundar, those who were not pure devotees of the Lord could not recognize him or know his glories. Avajananti mamudha manushim tanu mashrita. Why? Because param bhavam ajananto. Param bhavam ajananto. What is that param bhav? Who knows what is that param bhav? Mama bhuta maheshwaram. Anyone knows what is that param bhav? Krishna is saying that param bhavam ajananto. Then find out. Read this verse and find out what is the param bhava. Otherwise, we will also remain those mudha. Because Krishna is very clearly saying mudha is one who does not know the param bhava. Okay. But he is always seen by the devotees by dint of their pure devotional service to him. Nunam nripanam trimada upathanam mahimmuhos chalyatam chumubhi vadat prapannarti jihirseyo api upeka satagha bhagavan kuruna. Despite his being the Lord and being always willing to relieve the distress of sufferers, he, Krishna, refrained from killing the Kurus. Although they committed all sorts of sins, and although he saw other kings constantly agitating the earth by their strong military movements carried out under the direction of the three kinds of false pride. So Vidurji is giving this insight of his understanding. Although the Supreme Lord is always willing to relieve their suffering and distress of everyone, but still he did not kill the Kurus. When these Kurus is Dhritarashtra and his sons, they committed all sorts of sins. And although he saw other kings constantly agitating the earth by their strong military movement carried out under the dictation of three kinds of false pride. What is the three kinds of false pride? As declared in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord appears in the mortal world to execute his much needed mission of killing the miscreants and giving protection to the suffering faithful. Paritranaya sadhunam and vinashaya dushkritam. Protection to the suffering faithful. In spite of that mission, Lord Krishna tolerated the insult to Draupadi by the Kurus and the injustices perpetrated against the Pandavas, as well as insults to himself. The question may be raised, why did he tolerate such injustices and insults in his presence? Why did he not chastise the Kurus immediately? When Draupadi was insulted in the assembly of the Kurus by their attempt to see her naked in the presence of all, the Lord protected Draupadi by supplying an unlimited length of clothing. But he did not chastise the insulting party immediately. This silence of the Lord did not mean, however, that he excused the offenses of the Kurus. Many times we should not feel that if we commit some mistake or we commit some sin or even an offense, we have not received immediate reaction, so we are safe. No, it is not so. It will never be so. Very few people have joined today being Sunday. Only 4 or 5 of you are there. 3 is with Ravindra Prabhu, Pradeep. Pradeep, your daughters do not hear. Huh? And they do not participate in the classes of these kids also. Then how they will come in this devotional path? It is impossible. Right? Why again Kuber is also not there? Today also he is not there. I cannot force anyone to hear Bhagavatam. That means there is no desire, no taste. Given a choice, they will go in the worldly affairs rather than hear Srimad Bhagavatam. This is there. Why did he not chastise the Kurus immediately when Draupadi was insulted in the assembly by the Kurus by their attempt to see her naked in the presence of all? The Lord protected Draupadi by supplying an unlimited length of clothing. But he did not chastise the insulting party immediately. This silence of the Lord did not mean, however, that he excused the offenses of the Kurus. There were many other kings on earth who had become very proud of three kinds of possessions. What are these? Wealth, education, and followers. Okay, kings are proud of wealth, education, and followers. And they were constantly agitating the earth by a movement of military strength. The Lord was just waiting to get them together on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and kill them all at one time, just to make a shortcut in his killing mission. Godlike kings or heads of state, when puffed up by advancement of material wealth, education and increase of population, always make a show of military strength and give trouble to the innocent. When Lord Krishna was personally present, there were many such kings, all over the world, and he thus arranged for the battle of Kurukshetra. In his manifestations of Vishwarup, the Lord expressed his mission of killing as follows. I have willingly descended to the earth in my capacity of inexorable time in order to decrease the unwanted population. Kalo asmi lokshaya krit pravidha. I shall finish all those who have assembled here except you, the Pandavas. This killing does not wait for you to take part in it. This killing does not wait for you to take part in it. Any case, I will kill them. I have already killed them. Whether you participate and take the benefit or not. It is already arranged. All will be killed by me. If you want to become famous as a hero on the battlefield and thus enjoy the booty of war, then, O Sāci, just become the immediate cause of this killing and take the credit. I have already killed the great warriors Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, Karna, and many other generals do not worry, I have already killed all the great warriors Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, Karna, and many other great generals. Do not worry, fight the battle and be famous as great hero. Anyone remembers the verse? Bhagavad Gita? Very famous declaration Krishna says. What we have to do? Nimit matram bhava sabve Sāci. You just become an instrument. I have already done it. You don't have to do anything. You just have to agree. You just have to agree to say yes. You see. Do not worry, fight the battle and be famous as a great hero. The Lord always wants to see his devotees as the hero of some episode, which he himself performs. He wanted to see his devotee and friend Arjuna as the hero of the battle of Kurukshetra, and thus he waited for all the miscreants of the world to assemble. That and nothing else is the explanation of his waiting. Ajasya janma utpatta nananya. Ajasya janma utpatta nananya. Sorry. Ajasya janma utpatta nasanaya. Karmani akartur grahanaya pumsam. Nanav अन्यथा को अर्हति देह योगम Parogunana karma tantram. The appearance of the Lord is manifested for the annihilation of the upstarts. Annihilation of the upstarts. His activities are transcendental and are enacted for the understanding of all persons. Otherwise, since the Lord is transcendental to all material modes, what purpose could he serve by coming to earth? This question is being asked. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. The form of the Lord is eternal, blissful, and all satisfying. His so-called birth is therefore an appearance only, like the birth of the sun on the horizon. His birth does not, like that of the living entities, take part under the influence of material nature and the bondage of the reactions of past deeds. His works and activities are independent pastimes and are not subject to the reactions of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita 4.14, it is said, Namam karma nilimpanti name karma phale spriha iti mam yo abhijanati karma bhira na sabadhyate. The law of karma enacted by the Supreme Lord for the living entities cannot be applicable to him. Very important. We are conditioned and we have to go according to the law of karma and law of prakriti. And we are under the control of the three modes. But it is not the case with the Supreme Lord. Nor has the Lord any desire to improve himself by activities like those of ordinary living beings. Ordinary living beings work for the improvement of their conditional lives. But the Lord is already full of all opulences, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Why should he desire improvement? No one can excel him in any opulence. And therefore, the desire for improvement is absolutely useless for him. One should always discriminate between the activities of the Lord and those of ordinary living beings. Thus, one may come to the right conclusion regarding the Lord's transcendental position. One who can come to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence can become a devotee of the Lord. Very important statement. Very, very important. Well, why people don't become devotee? One who can come to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence can become a devotee of the Lord and can at once be free from all reactions of past day. It is said, Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. The Lord minimizes or nullifies the reactionary influence of the devotee's past deed. Brahma Samhita 5.44. The activities of the Lord are to be accepted and relished by all living entities. His activities are meant to attract the ordinary man towards the Lord. The Lord always acts in favor of the devotees. And therefore, ordinary men who are fruitive workers or seekers of salvation the Lord always acts in favor of the devotees, and therefore ordinary person who are fruitive actors or seekers of salvation might be attracted to the Lord when he acts as protectors of the devotees. The fruitive actors can attain their goals by devotional service, and the salvationists can also attain their goal in life by devotional service to the Lord. The devotees do not want the fruitive results of their work, nor do they want any kind of salvation. They relish the glorious superhuman activities of the Lord, such as his lifting Govardhan hill and his killing the demon Putana in infancy. His activities are enacted to attract all kind of men, karmis, jnanis, and bhaktas, because he is transcendental to all laws of karma. There is no possibility of his accepting a form of maya like the forms posed on the ordinary living entities who are bound by the actions and reactions of their own deeds. For secondary purpose of his appearance, there are two purposes. Two purposes are mentioned for his appearance. What was the first reason for his appearance? Holy. We just discussed. What is the purpose of his appearance? First purpose. Yes, Ravindra bro.
गुरुजी परित्राणाय साधनं विनाशः.
No, what Prabhupada is writing here. See the purport. The activities of the Lord are accepted and nourished by all living entities. His activities are meant to attract the ordinary man towards the Lord. This is the purpose. Is to attract the man towards the Lord. But when they will be attracted to the Lord, this is the important thing. Only when they engage in devotional service. The secondary purpose of his appearance is to annihilate the upstart asura. This is the secondary person. Vinashacha Dushketa. And to stop the nonsense of atheistic propaganda by less intelligent purpose. By the Lord's causeless mercy, the asuras who are killed personally by the personality of Godhead get salvation. The meaningful appearance of the Lord is always distinct from ordinary birth. Even the pure devotees have no connection with the material body. And certainly the Lord who appears as he is in his Sāci-Sutā form is not limited by material form. So Vidurji is appreciating the purpose of Lord's advent. This is the final verse. This is the final verse. Tasya prapanna akhillokapanam avastithanam anusasne save arthaya jatasya yadu ajasya vartam sakhe kirtaya tirtha kirti. There are innumerable rulers all over the universe in different varieties of planets. The sun god in the sun planet, the moon god in the moon planet, Indra in the heavenly planet, Vayu, Varuna and those in the Brahmalok planet, whereas the Lord Brahma is living. All are obedient servants of the Lord. Whenever there is any trouble in the administration of the innumerable planets in different universe, the ruler prays for an appearance and the Lord appears. The Bhagavatam 1.3.28 has already confirmed this in the following verse. Ete cham shakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Nradayante Yuge Yuge. One moment, I'm just coming. In every millennium, whenever there is any trouble for the obedient rulers, the Lord appears. He also appears for the sake of his pure, unalloyed devotees. The surrendered rulers and pure devotees are always strictly under the control of the Lord, and they are never disobedient to the desires of the Lord. The Lord is therefore always attentive to them. The purpose of pilgrimage is to remember the Lord constantly, and therefore the Lord is known as Tirtha Kirtihi. The purpose of going to a place of pilgrimage is to get the chance to glorify the Lord. Even today, although times have changed, there are still pilgrimage sites in India. For example, in Mathura and Vrindavan, where we had a chance to stay. People are awake from early morning at 4 a.m. up until night time and are constantly engaged, some way or another, in chanting the holy glories of the Lord. The beauty of such a pilgrimage site is that automatically one remembers the holy glories of the Lord. His name, fame, qualities, form, pastimes, and entourage are all identical to the Lord. And therefore, chanting the glories of the Lord invokes the personal presence of the Lord. Anytime or anywhere pure devotees meet and chant the glories of the Lord is present without any doubt. It is said by the Lord himself that he always stays where his pure devotees chant his glories. What is the verse? Very famous verse. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport to the third canto, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Questions by Vidura. Yat gayanti madbhakta tat tisthami narada. Okay. So by Krishna's grace, we have completed this first chapter of the third canto, but is entitled Questions by Vidura. How many questions by Vidura? Now your turn. What is your genuine question? After hearing Vidura's questions. बोलिए. बोलिए रम्या.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी, जो थ्री काइंड ऑफ
False
थ्री काइंड
pride.
ऑफ प्राइड,
False.
फॉल्स प्राइड के बारे में लिखा गया, क्या वो जन्म ऐश्वर्य जो है, हायर
यहाँ
बर्थ,
किंग्स के बारे
और
में. यहाँ this is specifically for kings because they have lot of wealth, they have lot of followers, and Prabhupada is also mentioning the word education. देखो क्या लिखा है, यही तीन लिखा है. Wealth, education and followers. एक्चुअली जरा ध्यान से सोचो तो ये क्या है, बताओ क्या कनेक्शन है. पकड़ो पकड़ो, रोज तोते की तरह रटते हैं. नहीं पकड़ में आया. डेली रिसाइटेशन है.
ना धनम ना जन्म ना सुंदरी.
हाँ, ना धनम ना जन्म ना सुंदरी. तो फॉल्स प्राइड नहीं आएगा. देखो कितना सटल प्रभुपाद जी कैसे प्रेजेंट किए. Three types of false pride. What is there? Wealth, dhanam, janam, education and followers. ठीक है, क्लियर हो गया.
जी प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी, और एक वर्ष में, जिस वर्ष में विदुर जी पूछ रहे थे अनिरुद्ध के वेलबींग के बारे में, 34 नंबर वर्ष, उसमें
हाँ.
पर्पट में लिखा गया है कि अनिरुद्ध इज ऑल्सो द कॉज ऑफ महाविष्णु. तो इस तरह
Aniruddha is
से
also because of Mahavishnu. Yeah. Actually, first quadruple कहाँ से आता है? जो पहला
सं-
व्यू है वो कहाँ से आता है?
बलराम जी से प्रभु जी।
हाँ, ठीक है। और फिर उसके बाद दूसरा चतुर्व्यूह भी आता है,
जी प्रभु जी।
वो कहाँ से आता
ओ,
है?
संकर्षण से प्रभु जी।
वेरी गुड, संकर्षण से। और फिर उसके बाद इस चतुर्व्यूह से कौन आते हैं?
महाविष्णु प्रभु जी।
नारायण।
नारायण, हाँ जी।
नारायण से महाविष्णु आते हैं, ठीक है ना? तो एक्सपेंशन कैसे होता है? वासुदेव, संकर्षण, प्रद्युम्न और अनिरुद्ध, ठीक है। बहुत अच्छा, वेरी गुड, आपने पकड़ा, सोचा। दिस इज द एंटायर पर्पस ऑफ हियरिंग एंड चैंटिंग, बोल रहे हैं, इज रिमेम्बरेंस, कनेक्शन। और बाकी लोगों के सवाल है, प्रश्न है? गौरांगी सो गई क्या?
नहीं प्रभु जी, बुक्स पढ़ रही है।
अच्छा।
पढ़ तो नहीं रही, देख।
बुक्स पढ़ रही है, वो पढ़ने लगे तब की बात है, तो खाली पिक्चर देख रही है अभी, बुक्स कहाँ पढ़ रही है? उस लेवल पे ले आओ कि वो पढ़ने लगे। ओके, विल टेक रेस्ट अर्ली। कोई क्वेश्चन है ही नहीं आप लोग का? बाकी में किसी क्वेश्चन नहीं? ध्यान से पढ़ो, सुनो, हृदय लगाओ इसमें, भागवतम में। कल से राम कथा शुरू करें? हाँ, रामायण पढ़ते हैं। बोलो, कल कितनी तारीख होगी? 23 तो हो गई, एक ही हफ्ता है ये हफ्ता, बस मंडे से संडे तक करेंगे, एक हफ्ता में निकालता हूँ मैं। हम पहले पढ़ रहे थे ना रामायण, मेरे पास है रामायण की जो बुक, सिस्टमैटिक पढ़ेंगे, एटलीस्ट एक हफ्ते में एक सेक्शन पढ़ते हैं। कल मैं डिलिब्रेट करता हूँ। ओके, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू दी असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज, हरे कृष्ण।